Majnanaatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya Chaksharanmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Ayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shivadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Manjakalpatarabhya Kripa Sindhamye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vakam Karati Vachalam Bangam Langai Degrim Gurvatamam Mandeshi Gurandhanataranam Paramanandamadamam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram Hare Krishna. So people, the topic is no pain, no gain. Or if you put it in a other way, if you want to gain something tangible, we need to make an intense effort. So I'll take some couple of material examples, then slowly take you further. I'm sure you're, especially people who immigrate to America, they have a lot of material credentials, means very educated and lot of hard work, intelligence. So you understand this better than anybody actually. There was a lady by name Wilma Rudolph. Wilma was born in an Afro-American community, very, born in a poor family. In America, if you're born in 50s and 40s and 30s, you will take birth in a ghetto and you'll end your life in ghetto. So Wilma had by birth polio. She had by birth polio, and they were very poor. In my life, I saw so many children in my school coming with the crutches, and the rest of the life they would be on crutches. So when she was like hardly 1-2 year old, she got polio, and they were very poor. They could not afford medical treatment. So mother would take 6 miles. She would walk 6 miles twice a week to give treatment, physical therapy. So years. For that, finally, in the years of hard labor worked, and Wilma stood up first time in her life at the age of 12. Until such time, she would go to school, she would see all the friends walking, running, jumping, joking. She could not even get up, what to speak of walking. And what to speak of running. So when she started walking first time in her life at the age of 12, she resolved. She wanted to become the fastest woman on earth. Wow. She wanted to She wanted to become the fastest woman of Earth. And she was determined. In few years to come, she participated, she got chance to participate in the Olympics from America's side, and she bagged gold. She is called the Golden Woman of America. There was a movie on her name actually. But why I'm quoting her example is, if you want to be an Olympic sprinter, every day you have to walk you have to run 25 miles. Means close to 40 kilometers. You know, whether it rains or sun shines, you have to run every day to retain and then retain that stamina. You need to every day run 25 miles. How many of us ran for 25 miles at least one time in our life? But then, so if you run like this, there's a possibility you may be chosen as an entrant for Olympics. There is no guarantee for the medal. But I want to tell you one point. Today, who remembers what medal she got? Because she passed away. She is not there. She is no more. It's an effort. It's a huge effort. It's like a shooting star. It'll flourish for some time, and and it'll fade away. But people work so hard, So when they work that much hard for some material thing, how much should we work hard for Krishna, who has given us families, who has given us daily bread, who has given us everything more than anything, who has given us a bhakti. Because Krishna doesn't give bhakti. Krishna gives everything but not bhakti. Bhaktiya sanjayate bhakti. A pure devotee gives. We'll talk about it. How many of us like ice cream? We all like ice cream actually. But one time, parents were very determined. I don't know how many of you know her. She was an Olympian gymnast, Nadia Comaneci. Parents never gave her one ice cream, because if you eat one ice cream, you'll put a lot of fat in your body, and you cannot be a gymnast. The body will not bend. The body will not bend. Hare Krishna. So she did not even eat one ice cream. And from Romania. And she still holds record. She did perfect 10. And she bagged Olympic gold. 16-year-old means for 16 years, she didn't eat ice cream. Wow, what a tapasya. But how many of us remember that? Who will remember? Even if somebody remembers, what is the use? Because I think today she must be 50-year-old. She immigrated to America. She's in America actually now. Some material materially, people work very hard to remain, to maintain that stardom. But eventually people forget. Eventually people forget. One devotee made a nice point. What is that? What is material life? What is material life? He said, hurry, worry, and sorry. What is material life? Hurry, worry, and sorry. When you are, again, in our teenage adolescence, we don't have money, but we have health and time. So we want to make, we are in a hurry. We want to make career. We want us, like, parents have their home. I should also have my home. I should have my family. So I need to make money. For that, hurry, hurry, hurry. Study, study, study. Undergrad, masters, PhD, whatever. Then get a job. And so in that process, slowly, you will leave that youthful, that engage. Slowly, you'll come to middle age. In middle age, you have a health, you have money, but no time. I have to do this. I'm yet to achieve things. I need to establish myself more, so that I can maintain a particular level of respect in my relative circle, in my colleague circle. So you have time. No time. You have health and money. You have made some money, but there's worry. Worry for family, worry for children. What will happen? So I should work harder. And slowly we go forward. We actually, time works very relatively. Time is very relative. In your childhood, you get like 3 months holidays, summer holidays. That appears like eternity actually. Tens and 20s go slow. 20 and 30s, 20s and 30s. This was 20 to 30, little faster. 30 to 40, even faster. 40 to 50 is faster than the 30 to 40, 30 to 40. And 50, when you turn flip over like this, suddenly you're 60. Wow. Then sorry, I should have, you have money, you have time, but no health. And all the things that you want to achieve, you have not achieved yet. You feel sorry for yourself. I should have tried for this. I should have achieved this. Devotees, they think, still the same lust, still the same envy, same greed, same pride. I should have focused more on this. That is material world. So when we are working that much hard, let me tell you one thing. This devotee made nicely, Sutta Prabhu said this. When you work hard for something material, most of the time you don't get what you want to get. And when you get something, when you got exactly, when you get something, it's a package. Means you get what you want, you also get something that you don't want. It's a package. Or sometimes you get exactly what you want, you lose interest on that. How many of you have experience? I have experience actually. That is material world. So if we have any good fortune, then we come to bhakti. Some devotee prayed for us. Our, Prabhupada prayed for us. Prabhupada's disciples, these spiritual masters, they have prayed for us. Then, by their endeavors, we come to the path of bhakti. Actually, Bhakti Charaswami, I requested him to give a class for us. June 30th, 1 week before coming to America. I think he came on 7th June. So he spoke on May 30th. May 30th he addressed all of us ISKCON Farmington Hills. So the topic we gave it to him was how to overcome false ego. That was the topic. I asked Maharaj to speak. He said, I'm trying to repeat as it is. It's little time, but I can remember. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabanoy Sravanadi Siddha Chitti Koriye Uday. So Maharaj said we were all in the spiritual world. But we turned our back against Krishna. We wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna, so we fell down from material world from spiritual world to material world. And when a pure water drop falls, it starts falling down. It was very pure. Then, as he says, it starts falling down in the metal environment, atmosphere, starts picking up the dust, carbon monoxide. Finally, it falls into the mud, it totally loses its shape and color, and it thinks it's just mud, a thick mud. So you need to expose this water to fractional distillation, a process to regain, the purity of the water, a process. So likewise, we fell down into the metal world very long time ago. So that love of God is covered. Dumena vriyate vagnihi yatadarsho malena cha tatol vena vrto garbhast thinedhamavrutam. The way, fire is covered by smoke, the way mirror is covered by dirt, the way child is covered by the womb of the mother, the pure knowledge of Krishna consciousness, it was covered with the lust. Maharaj said the false ego will take the different forms of envy, anger, and pride. So to reawaken that love of God, there should not be any trace of impurities like lust and greed. Real spirituality is not about a position or a position. Real spirituality is about how much purified we are, how much ruthless we are with the mind. Hare Krishna. Any endeavor that we make in the material world is temporary. Actually, I have seen the parents who invest a lot on children. There is nothing wrong, no doubt. But if they invest their total time on children at the exclusion of Krishna consciousness, or they don't even think there is something called Krishna consciousness, when they become very old, I have seen the parents glorifying their children because for the position the children have attained, because their role was there. But the reality, the children grew up so much, they had their own families, they don't even talk to the parents. But these guys have nothing to share or to be proud of. Because the endeavor, the investment they made on children, they already grew. I mean, they got their good jobs, they're settled elsewhere. And the parents, they keep on, they're so fond of recollecting. But the devotees, yes, devotees knew this. So they invest on children. At the same time, they invest on children to make them Krishna conscious. And they invest on children to make the children Krishna conscious because they knew, you know, material endeavors are temporary, the results are temporary. Spiritual endeavors are eternal. Every time we chant Hare Krishna mantra is an eternal credit. Every time we hear and we do some service, it is eternal credit. Right? So, and what is that? Uh, Prabhupada says we are in a diseased state. We are in a diseased state. Krishna consciousness is our original state. Prabhupada said diseased state, in the diseased condition, person cannot be happy. I asked one doctor, what is the success rate in psychiatry? She said less than 10%. And you want to change today? It takes even small thing like getting up in the morning, 1 hour before or 2 hours before you get up. You have to make a lot of endeavor. Garam Rao told me it takes 10 years. If you consciously make an attempt to get rid of one bad quality thoroughly, even if you're not acting on it, it is there in the mind. I'm sure many of you agree with me on this point. You know, though you lose though you give up externally, the taste remains. So my point is, you know, one time I actually, one person, he came to a New Jersey temple. And if you have indecision problem, he'll put your finger in the navel. And it's called some Nabi Vidya. He came a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And you will adjust that, by adjusting that navel position, he'll correct your indecision process. And he was doing to people, the people who are going through pain. He said, because of your wrong eating for so long, your navel has, the position has shifted. So to adjust it, if I don't adjust, your digestion doesn't, is not, your digestive process is not adjusted. And these patients were going through hell. He said, no pain, no gain. Wow. No pain and no gain. So Prabhupada said, what is that? Spiritual or spiritual state of consciousness, we are a diseased state. So we have a boil, it's painful, but you're scared of going to doctor. It keeps on paining. But then you go to doctor says you have to perform operation, you go to the hospital, then 3-4 days you cannot, a weekday operation, and after operation for 3-4 hours, weekday you have to be in the hospital. It is very painful, certain foods you don't eat. Then 7 days later you're discharged. Then it pains like anything. Eventually what happens? There will be a spot, then the pain is gone. So the point, if you apply the same analogy, why we got this body, Ichha dvesha samutina dvandva mohena bharata. Sarvabhutani sammoham dvesha. We have a desire to enjoy independent of Krishna. When that is not possible, we developed a envy. We are in the flag. We have the flag of envy. We are in the world means we have this flag of envy. So we should get rid of it. So no pain, no gain. We need to work hard. Today everyone glorifies Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada did not have 25 pies to take a rickshaw from Delhi a train station to the printer's office, Manohar Lal Jain's office. And Prabhupada in Radha Damodar temple in the night, he would get up, my Guru Maharaj has given me this service and I don't have the power, and he would sweep the Radha Damodar temple, and with the tears in his eyes, he would cry, my Lord, I have no. nacha, Semate, my lord, what is that? Bhaktivedanta Nam Sarda Kuruboro. I mean, he wrote that poem later, but that was his mood. Make me dance as a puppet. You're the puppeteer. So Prabhupada would cry, sweeping the Radha Damodar temple courtyard, and working hard day and night with zero success. The point is, then what happened? Krishna gave Prabhupada an opportunity to deliver people. So the point is, spirituality means growing from the grossest Annamaya stage to, Pranamaya to, Manomaya to Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. It's not how many slokas we learned, it's not how many, how many designations we got. It is all about how much we progressed internally. Kadam Khan Maharaj says in ISKCON everything is fun. Ekadasi idli, ekadasi pizza. To some extent it works. Not for a long time. So if we cannot travel on these two boats all the time, boat of sense gratification and boat of bhakti, at least at the age of 60 we have to come shift fully on the boat of bhakti. So everyone, we all have material goals. Likewise, we should have spiritual goals also. Ask this question: did I develop taste for chanting? Kabe hobe polo sait in the Mara. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur song is there. So when will the day come? I'll develop the taste for the holy name. When will the day come when I'll develop the taste for rendering service to devotees? Actually, I was reading recently Prabhupada, 7th Canto, Prahlad Maharaj. Senior devotees, he would deal with them like a supreme personality, like an incarnation of Supreme Lord, incarnation of Krishna. So the equals, he's like a compassionate brother, a supportive brother. To the juniors, he's like a compassionate elder brother. Wow. So it not that it will happen overnight. I'm sure you all agree. We have been chanting for so long. Chanting, taking prasad, jumping up and down, dancing kirtan, and attending classes, which is the toughest thing. Everybody agrees that chanting. Why? Mind is difficult to control. Why? False ego. So we are chanting. Gaurang said, so we are chanting, I have to do this service, I have to do this service, I have to do this service. It means he said false ego. Krishna is coming and watching you. How sincerely are you chanting? My Lord, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you, I'll do this. Today evening I have a drama, today evening I have this, I have this. If you have a desire, I'll facilitate, Krishna says. No, you don't need to facilitate, I'll do it for you. 4 rounds is over. Lit. Then I have to do this for you, this another 4 rounds over. Another 4 rounds over, I'll do this for you only. Hare Krishna. So, Bhakti Swami said this false ego. As long as somebody is actually respecting me, they're actually inflating, they're massaging this false ego. The moment they hurt, we become angry with them. We become inimical to them. When two people have a problem, either or both the parties want something other than Krishna. Hare Krishna. Spiritual life is simple, not easy. Spiritual life is simple, not easy. But one thing I can tell you. So, Bhakti Swami said, the only way you can come out of the false ego is become servant of Krishna. Render bhakti to Krishna. That way you can come under the influence of internal energy. Otherwise, you remain always in the control of external energy. The only way you want to come, you want to, you come into the purview of internal energy, identify yourself as a dasana, servant of Krishna. Problem is we are a boss on a boss, not dasana das. And how difficult it is, the process, bhakti process. But we are, very, very fortunate. Why we are fortunate? Lord Chaitanya made that process. What is that? Indra Prabhu, Raga Marga. Lord Chaitanya Bhakti is Raga Bhakti. Raga Bhakti. What is Lord Chaitanya? Niyam sada parivavagnam abhishtadoham tirthaspadam savarinchinuttam saranyam mrityadhyam vradapala bhavadibodham vande mahapurushati charanarvindam. So what Brahma and Lord Shiva are looking for? Lord Chaitanya came to you free of cost, freely. For that, Tektava Sudishya Surepsita Radhalakshmi Dharmishna Arya Vachasa Yadayadaranya Maya Vragam Daitipsi Manvadavat Manye Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. He gave up the company of goddess of fortune, going behind people, take it. If you have a diamond, whole world is standing in line for you. But he's telling, take it. Wow, that is our moment. Lord Chaitanya's mercy. What is that? Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Anybody who would get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, they would get instant Krishna Prema. What Lord Shiva and Brahma are looking for, they would get instantly. You can't believe. So Lord Chaitanya was on the way to Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya was on the way to Vrindavan, and he came to the border of Prataprudra kingdom. Means up to this very good. But now he has yet to enter a Muslim kingdom. So, today we have borders, those is also the same thing. The officer said, border security officer of Maharaj Prataprudra kingdom, my lord, you stay for 7 days. We need to get a visa for you. Means they would talk to the neighboring kingdom, and they would allow him to pass because they are Muslims. They are Muslims, and it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Then what happened? Lord Chaitanya stayed in that for 1 week in the borders. Meanwhile, the border security officer of Maharaj Prataprudra, would establish a connection and, allow Lord Chaitanya to have a free passage through their kingdom so that he would go to Vrindavan. But what happened? One spy came and observed everything. Observed everything. He was stunned, shocked. What is this? Then he went back. He went back and told the governor, Muslim governor. Those days, Mughal rule, they have all these, in their provinces, they kept their governors. This governor was a drunkard. A cow eater. The spy told the governor, he's also Muslim, the spy is also Muslim. Sir, I was actually observing in the borders. One saintly person came, one sadhu came. And what he is doing? He came with so many people. What they are doing? Nirantara kare sabha Krishna sankirtana. Sabha se nache gaya. Kareya krandana. All these saintly persons, they incessantly chanted Hare Krishna mantra. They laugh, they dance, they chant and cry. Amazing. Laksha laksha loka aise taha dekhi bare. Tare dekhi punarapi yaite nare ghare. Millions and millions of people came to see him. After they saw him, they never went home. They never went home. Say sab loka haya babule rapraya. Krishna kahe nache kande, gadgada diya. All these people, they become like madmen. They simply chant the holy name of Krishna and dance. Sometimes they will cry and roll on the ground. And let me tell you, don't think this is all. I cannot even describe what has happened. Don't think I'm exaggerating it. This is all real. And he said like this. And after saying that, ye takahi se chara Hare Krishna gaya, ase kande nache gaya, baulera praya. And when he said like this, Muslim, he started telling Ali, Hari and Krishna, and he began to laugh and cry, and he started dancing and singing like a madman. Wow. When Muslim governor heard this, his heart changed. His heart changed. If this is a cow eater, a person who eats the cow, the person who kills the cow, who sells the cow, who cooks the cow, who takes it to the market, and who eats it, they all, the number of hairs that are there in the body of a cow, that many lifetimes they should go to hell and suffer. It's written, I heard. But this Muslim governor, when he heard, he changed. Hare Krishna. And he told the secretary, well, this is a border. They have very, what is that, tight, they are serious enemies. All right, tell them I want to come and see this sadhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, that person said, I think that person is Bhagavan, Allah. So, so what is that? The secretary came and offered obeisances. Came and offered obeisances. As soon as he saw Krishna, he offered Lord Chaitanya, he offered obeisances. He chanted Krishna, Krishna. When he said Krishna, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya looked at him, immediately he was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Hare Krishna. He got love of God. What Brahma and Shiva are looking for, he got it. And he slowly composed himself. He came to the officer and said, if you agree, the Muslim governor will come and meet Lord Chaitanya and return. It is a proposal for peace. Please don't fear. And this government border officer, Mahapatra, was astonished. This governor is a drunkard, meat eater. Who changed? It must be Lord Chaitanya. It must be Lord Chaitanya, nobody else. Apane Mahaprabhu tara mana firayila darsane smarane yara jagat tarila. Due to his presence, who would change this, drunkard Muslim mind? Only Lord Chaitanya. By his presence, even remembering him, the whole world would be liberated. Wow. All right, no problem. We are honored. So he can come, but he should not bring any soldiers. Not more than 4 or 5 people. No weapons. No weapons. Then the Muslim, that governor came. He dressed himself like a Hindu. Then he came. He came so humble. Dorahaite Prabhu dekhi bhumi te padiya. Dandavat kare asru ulaki tahan. So from distance he saw Lord Chaitanya and immediately fell on the ground and offered obeisances. And Lord Chaitanya, from by his glance, Lord Chaitanya gave mercy. Tears cascaded from his life. It cascaded from his eyes. Tears flowed. He became jubilant and he became ecstatic, Hare Krishna. You know, and the Mahapatra brought. And when it went, that security officer, he went and brought Muslim governor, very respectful. He brought him to the Lord Chaitanya. And when he came to Lord Chaitanya, he folded his hands and he chanted, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare. He chanted, and humility. What is that quality? Humility, Hare Krishna. Usually nobody exhibits humility in front of an enemy. Adhamayavana kule kena janmaila, vidimora Hindu kule kenana janmaila. My Lord, why I was born in a Muslim family? Such a low birth. Why didn't I take birth in a Hindu family? So that I would take shelter at your lotus feet all the time. Hindu hoila, paitama tomara charana sannidhan, vyardhamora yai deha yoga parana. Now I have taken birth in this Yavana family. My body is useless. Please let me die and take birth as a Hindu. Ooh. What is that? When he was offering like this, Lord Chaitanya gave him love of God. That is Lord Chaitanya. That's why Rupa Goswami, when he met, Rupa Goswami said this, Namo Mahavardhanyaya. So I was telling in the beginning, so Supreme Lord, he is why Mahavardhanya, why magnanimous, he is giving Krishna Prema freely. So what is that? Wilma Rudolph, she claimed so many golds. She is not there today. And this girl did not eat ice cream for 16 years and she claimed gold. She's in the entrance of the old age. And very soon she would not be there. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Sirs and ma'ams, Bhakti is not like that. Bhakti is not like that. Anything you cleanse your heart this much, you'll get that much benefit. It's eternal. When this Mahapatra saw the Muslim governor going through the change, wow. He was taking Lord Chaitanya for granted as Sadhu, my king, he asked me to take care of him, but he didn't. Sometimes, we are Indians, I know, Hare Krishna. But we don't have that fire. We don't have that fire. So one devotee asked Bhakti Swami, Maharaj, you may have any pastimes with Prabhupada in the same lecture, Metadiyat. Maharaj said, one day I went to the rooftop of Lotus building. Prabhupada was taking massage. I think Prabhupada asked him to bring something. He was his Prabhupada's servant and secretary. And he gave Prabhupada whatever Prabhupada wanted. And Prabhupada was taking massage and Bhakti Swami didn't leave. And Bhakti Swami stayed there. And Prabhupada after some time started speaking. This is what Prabhupada, Bhakti Swami told this Prabhupada. Bhakti Swami said, every lifetime, Prabhupada told him, every lifetime you are married. Every lifetime you have kids. Every lifetime you have parents. We have relatives. What we don't have is Krishna. Give one lifetime to Krishna. If you're Grihastha, together with family members, give you one lifetime to Krishna. If you're single, give one lifetime to Krishna. Bhakti Swami obeyed that order. Ma'ams and sirs. Anybody who gives one lifetime to Krishna is not the loser. Krishna doesn't cheat anyone. And today, just before the class, somebody texted me, actually. I want to read it for you. You know, what is that? There are so many anxieties in the material nature. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Bhakti Swami is telling. For a devotee, nothing will happen. Krishna will take care. And Maharaj is telling, Krishna has already taken care of me. Krishna is taking care of me. And Krishna will continue to take care of me. Therefore, no anxiety. Bhakti. What a faith. We should all have that faith. Bhava stage. Rakshati syatiti vishwaso. Sorry, stage of surrender. Anukulya sankalpa pratikulya svarjanam. Give up what is, accept what is favorable to bhakti, give up what is unfavorable to bhakti. And so Krishna will definitely protect me. Krishna is my maintainer. Atmanikshapa karmanya. So body, mind, and notes you serve Krishna with humility. This is the sign of surrender. Maharaj surrendered life. Maharaj, anything he did for the pleasure of Prabhupada. He saved so many projects. He gave Krishna to each and every one. Following the footsteps of Acharyas. Our Acharyas have only one thing, they cried for the rest of the humanity. Ayyo. He also cried for us. So my request to all of you, time is running out. Let us be Krishna conscious. Let us give one lifetime to Krishna, following the footsteps of Bhakti Swami. We are not the loser. Okay, little bit. You want to do book distribution? Great. You want to do prasadam distribution? Great. You want to be on the phone and say Hare Krishna mantra to one person a day? Great. You want to help Ramchandra Prabhu in whatever way he is struggling to do? Great. Help. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada said cooperate. Bhakti Swami exemplified that cooperation. And one thing with him is, though he did exemplary projects, he would come to you and he would make you special. One day he came to me 2006, I think. Where were you? I was looking for you. I said, oh, Maharaj, you're looking for me. Can you imagine 16 years later, I was still remembering it. Wow, you're remembering me, So actually, I left for preaching and came back to New Vrindavan. And I met him in Chicago. I said, where were you? I was looking for you. I didn't see you. Like a genuine concern. Wow. He never said, I'm a big guru. I have thousands and tens and thousands of disciples. So one person make them special one day in your life. Even if the whole world may not remember, that Prabhu will remember, that person Mataji will remember. Even if they don't remember, Krishna will remember. I'm sorry I've taken now. So material endeavors, we should definitely to maintain the body, we need it. But more than that, spiritual endeavor, that is why we have taken this whole birth. So no more birth. So awaken that love of God. Lord Chaitanya has given a very, very, very easy process. And a Muslim governor has attained the love of God. The Mahapatra is holding feet. Oh, Mahaprabhu, I never thought you were like this. So my request to all of you, never underestimate the process. Lord Chaitanya is beginning. If I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me. Very grateful to Ramchandra Prabhu for giving this opportunity to speak to you. And if I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. Very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Yugal Kishore Prabhuji. If anybody has a question, you could unmute yourself or just raise your hand, either way. I'll start with one. So we saw how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although didn't consider Muslim birth, but he just showered his love And we see that in today's times. Um, this is where, as we see right now in America, especially the racial tension that is there. So how do we see the Lord? We do read in Bhagavad Gita, Pandita Samadarshina, we see the Lord in not only every living human beings, but in every living entity. But when it comes to practicality, when it comes to real interaction, we do tend to see somebody of different color, different creed, different country, different community. How can we see the Lord in that situation and change the way we reciprocate in a loving way?
Thank you, Ro. Nice question. I mean, I can understand. I can definitely empathize your feelings. I want to share my experience also with you. Probably you'll understand. You'll gain some insight into that. One day I was walking in Manhattan. Suddenly two blacks came to me. They are like tall. I'm very short. And they became so close. And they said, we have a question for you. You know what I did first thing? I was holding my cell phone. I put it in my pocket. So because you are based on your experiences. And if you ask me, quote unquote, I don't even have any money in my pocket. And the only possession I have, I'm worried because of my preconceived notions. And believe me, that guy asked me genuine Krishna conscious question. I couldn't believe my eyes. So it's not his problem, Prabhuji, my problem. And today, environment is contributing a lot. I cannot find fault with you or me or anybody. But let me tell you, you're understanding what I'm telling? So immediately I put my cell phone in my pocket, Hare Krishna. Means I'm attached to my cell phone. So immediately that made me think of them. They're coming so close to, the only one position I have. So, yes, you're understanding what I'm telling, but still, that's why, if you're really, really awakening the love of God is not easy. It's not joke. These are all it's very easy to recite verses and reading from, what is that way, the ways when somebody is listening. But, why we see only one Bhaktichari Swami or one Loknath Maharaj or one, all the sannyasis and gurus. Why? Because they have attended. We make a very slow progress, based upon, even if you are very sincere, Prabhupada says 1 minute you can surrender, no doubt. Charu Prabhu asked Prabhupada, how long does it take? Prabhupada said 40 years, So, coming back, my request to you, at least, as much as possible, we should try, we should take baby steps. We don't need to do big things, I want to share with you one thing. Downtown Detroit, I would go to one home and give prasad. This is a scary area, scary area. But I said, let me go, try. I would dress every Monday, Radha Kunjwari, Gaurnita in Radha Kunjwari temple. And while coming back to farming tunnels, I would drop and I would give prasad in this place. And he slowly reached 16 rounds. Then the problem is, excuse me, he started coming to temple and he started bringing friends. Again, devotees are worried. So my point is, so we need to be a little bit intelligent. I told him, Prabhu, you start a program. In your home, I'll come there. But you don't come here. Or you come alone, but don't bring anybody. So practicality works. But as much as possible, we should always work on individual level. That's important. because we cannot risk. If you have a bigger picture, that's how the world is like that. But still, an individual level, we should always be as much compassionate possible. But I want to add, we don't have any compassion. We have only passion. We should become the instrument of compassion of Srila Prabhupada or Bhakti so for that matter. I mean, you're understanding? Little bit. That's what I can tell Roji. I don't know whether it answered your question or not.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we have our own perceptions that we tend to lean on and experiences. So, but practice, as you mentioned at the end, little by little. Kiran Prabhu has a question. Kiran Prabhu, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yep. Thanks, Prabhu. So it's well explained. So, but I had like one question.
Can you speak a little louder? Yeah.
Okay. So is it audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the question which I'm having is, in our Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, the Srila Prabhupada well explained how you can transform from Rajogunam to Satyagunam, so which you can be in the Krishna conscious, and that's where you will all your materialistic, detach from the materialistic world. So in order to do that, for me, it took like almost, as you said, 40 years to come to this specific point in the right channel. But in the current situation in the materialistic world, how can we explain to our children about the materialistic versus Krishna consciousness? Could you just provide some kind of an example that kids can realize?
I mean, you asked the question, Raja to Sattvagun, I understood. Then in the materialistic world, how to explain kids?
Yes, that's right. So, yeah. So in order to, I mean, the reason why I'm telling that Rajogun to Satyagun, so given everyone will be running our materialistic world behind the Rajogunam to fulfill Rajogunam, right? So, but kids doesn't understand that. So in order to explain to the kids about the Krishna consciousness and versus the materialistic world, how we can explain and that they can realize.
Rohi, actually now for children, let me tell you one thing. My experience, children are like, like chapati dough. That's what I've seen. Especially when they're small children, you can knead them the way you want. It takes a village to grow a child, but parents contribute 50%, so if you ask me, I mean, explanation of this transition of Rajogun to Sattva, I don't know how much children will understand, but I have seen many children, they're very capable of understanding. If we explain the qualities of Sattvagun nature, explain the qualities of Rajoguna, and happiness comes, now we have to, whichever mode you are in, you need to slowly progress to, Sattva-guna, and from there accept Krishna consciousness and transcend. We explain in our Sunday school, and children will understand. If they, are simple thing, as I said, my experience with children, they're like like a dough, chapati dough. We don't give them philosophy, give them prasad and the Krishna consciousness stories. We tell them nicely and slowly introduce them Bhagavad Gita and say, Krishna conscious life is very good. Explain the advantage of being Krishna. We don't need to explain, what is Rajo and Tamo and Sattva, but explain this is very good, and if you go this way, it is very pleasing to, you'll make progress in bhakti, and this will help you in gaining maturity on mental level also. If you explain, they'll accept it, what we do with the children, we tell them to chant, and the children over a period of time, when they become 6th grade, 7th grade, I have seen children reaching 16 ounce. But 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, they'll drop, maybe because of the demands of the school. But you train them to develop interest in the instruments, instruments and singing, they will stick to that. But over a period of time, as they advance, slowly, when they come to the stage of understanding the modes, first we should explain to them that the modes, you know, Christians, they study Bhagavad Gita because without modes, there is no spirituality. Everyone should understand the three modes. Then explain to the children the Ravana nature, which is passionate nature, Vibhishana, which is Sattvagun nature, and Kumbhakarna, Tamagun nature. If you see, Ravana is a performer, but in the history, Ravana was actually, he is seen as a negative person. Vishnu is not that much performer, but Vibhishan ruled for a long time. And in the Ramayana, Vibhishan remained as a friend of Ram and in a positive side, right? So by taking these examples and explain to them, how bhakti is very good. I mean, how Sattvagun is very good, and on Sattvagun platform, practicing bhakti is better than Rajagun, Ravana mentality. Children will understand. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Gopal, go in, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam. Very nice class. A lot of energy, enthusiasm, and interesting topics. I have a couple of questions. I'll start with a question more relevant to this time today. Bhakti Charu Maharaj is passing away. So I have one question which may be related to the class as well. We learned the concept of we are not body, we are soul. And however amount of learning we have done, but when we see the such kind of moments, it just breaks the heart. And am I audible, Prabhu?
You can, yes.
So when these things happen, it breaks the heart, and it's difficult to accept it that these kind of things does happen, even though but Maharaj was in very good health, and still he had to go through so much of difficulty just to cross over this thing. So how should we take it? Can you please help us to understand?
Prabhuji, especially in ISKCON, there is no lecture that ends in ISKCON without this one line: "You're not his body, you're a spirit soul." Irrespective of what topic you speak, every speaker quotes, "You're not the body and you're a spirit soul." For body, there is no endurance. I know for soul, there is nothing temporary. Soul is eternal, body is temporary. 2 months ago, Bhaktacharya Swami was giving a class in Uddhava Gita, and the devotee who lives with me as a brahmachari, he texted Maharaj. He asked a question online. Maharaj said, "Don't take Spiritual Masters Association for granted. Spiritual Master, but stick to his instructions. Vani, more than Vapu, So devotee said, I think Maharaj is conveying a message, Nasate vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata. Abhyora vidrashtantas tvanayastata darsipi. That's a verse in Gita. There are 18 verses telling you're not the body and you're a spirit soul, the temporary nature of the body and the eternal nature of spirit soul, So yes, this thing, of course, one thing is, we are definitely affected. That is the nature, a soft nature of the devotee. Why there is a song, Jainilo Pramadana, and it will melt our hearts. It was written by the famous guru and the famous devotee Narottam Thakur. Yes, we when we make that connection, this is not material, like materialists, they cry like one day and third day they watch TV. We are not like that. Our relationships are deeper and deeper. They are very meaningful because they are connected on the level of bhakti with Krishna the center. I understand. But that is the nature of this world, Prabhu. 132,000 people died in America. Not even one person knew. In January, February, March, in a month to come, I would be no more. It is not just 5 people, 10 people. 132,000 people. So still, when things happen like this, I'm no doubt we are affected, but we should go deeper on deeper on Shastra, especially Prabhupada, what our Prabhupada has written. And if we really follow that, if we are affected, no doubt, but the real service we do to the devotee, when I joined the call, Maharaj was singing Gopi Geet. Tava kathamrutam tapta jivanam kavivireeditam kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grunanti Buridachana. What is our movement, Prabhu? Lord Chaitanya, who came to give Krishna Param freely, Nityananda Prabhu willing to, he is allowing Madai to beat him up, bleed him to death, but still he wanted Lord Chaitanya to come and give mercy. And all the gurus, what is that? Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupan Sanatan, then Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda. Prabhu, Lokanath Goswami was telling, and Narottam Das Thakur goes to him and Guru Maharaj, I need blessings. This is the first Sankirtan party going to Bengal, taking the books. And Narottam Das Thakur goes to Lokanath Swami, and Lokanath Maharaj is, he is in the last days. He is only one disciple, that is Lokanath, that is Narottam Das Thakur. And he has become invalid. And there is nobody to care. Narottam Das Thakur went to get his blessings. What is Lokanath Swami telling? When he went to get the blessings, he saw the situation of his guru and said, Guru Maharaj, don't give me blessings. I will not travel. Let Srinivasacharya and Shyamananda, let them go. I will stay and serve you. There is nobody. You have become invalid. Lokanath Goswami is telling, I am good for nothing. My life is useless. This is a eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya. Wow. Guru Maharaj of Lokanath Narottam Das Thakur. My life is good for nothing. You should live today. So world is suffering. Please distribute the books. Guru Maharaj, there is nobody to care. Take care. No, I am good for nothing, Prabhu. My life is anyway wasted. This is Krishna, eternal love of God. This is what he is telling. And if you don't live today, you will not get my mercy. I order you should live today. Wow, the tears is crying profusely. He cannot leave Guru, but he left to execute the order of his Guru. So that is my answer. Bhuvi Grunanti Buridajana. What giving food and medicine is compassion. But tomorrow you'll become hungry again. What is the real compassion? Telling you're not the body, but a spirit soul, and giving them bhakti, infuse them to chant Hare Krishna. Creating a path to come to Sakalam birth and death. That is the real compassion, Prabhu. Bhakti Acharya Swami exemplified that. Following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada and all the Acharyas. Prabhupada was a 70-year-old man. Hare Krishna. 2 heart attacks, seasickness. Prabhupada said diabetes. But all this, none of these factors shocked Prabhupada from coming to America. Wow. The last day, I want to tell you this. Last days, Prabhupada was establishing murtis in the temples when he was alive. One South Indian priest who was a part of Krishna Balaram temple, Igneous. So that South Indian priest, when he heard, immediately he flew from Bangalore to Mumbai. Those days tickets were very expensive. So you cannot see Prabhupada those days. Prabhupada had this big, it's very difficult to penetrate that cloud. So, but anyway, this Pujari said, I'm a very poor man, but still I took flight ticket, let me see. Then they allowed Prabhupada, they allowed this South Indian priest to see Prabhupada. This last year. Swamiji, why are you allowing your murti to be installed? Anybody who touch your feet, they will get karma. Prabhupada said, you know why I came to this world? That's what I came to this world for. Wow! This is Sri Sampradaya priest. He is not our Sampradaya. This priest from Sri Sampradaya, he went around, he circumambulated Prabhupada 3 times. Without saying one word, he left. Our movement is a giving movement, Prabhu, compassion. You know, I hope I remember that. So if you really want to, please Bhakticharya Swami, preach the message. Give a little prasad to somebody as an as a service to Bhakticharya Swami. And what is that? Give prasad or a book to somebody, call somebody and ask how you are doing. Today is this Stephen Knapp, Srinath Prabhu or Sunday feast class. From nowhere, one day he got a phone call, he lifted the number he cannot recognize. And this is Bhakticharya Swami. I want to tell you, I want you to know, you are doing nice service by writing all these books. I'm very impressed by your books. Thank you very much. Wow. Srinath Prabhu is telling, nobody called me, proper disciple. Nobody called me all these days, and no one has ever congratulated me for the task I am literary task I have undertaken. So from nowhere, Bhakticharya Swami is calling me and he's telling me thank you, and he cried. Hare Krishna. Actually, I also learned something today. So if you do that, that's a probably best homage you offer to Bhakticharya Swami. Does it answer your question?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, that's perfectly valid, and thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I have more questions, but I'll let others ask.
Prabhu, Babai, please go ahead, and then after that, Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, I had a very small question. I actually started off with a realization today. So it's like every time if I'm late for a Sunday class or Bhakti Viksha class or Wednesday class, there's always a devotee there to always, to suggest, like, tell me, oh, are you attending the class or not? So that just gave me a realization today, telling that, and a question actually. How is it possible for us, in any way possible, do you see someone very close to you who's falling in Krishna consciousness, who initially started really well in Krishna consciousness, but falling astray of the path of Krishna consciousness? Is there anything we can do to bring them back? And if that is true, how do we do that? That is my question.
So if I understood your question correctly, you see somebody falling, away from Krishna consciousness, giving up Krishna consciousness, how do you bring them back? That is the question, right?
Yeah, is there any way possible? Like what we can do, a little thing that we can contribute to?
I mean, it's definitely sad, Prabhuji. What you have to do is, if you have a nice relationship, you should sit with him one-to-one. And it depends, it's based on your relationship, because people are not willing to listen. You need to have a nice relationship with them, actually. Otherwise, they will deny, because people are not willing to take from not everyone, actually. So, the best thing is, tell, temple authorities, Ramchandra Prabhu. Or if you cannot tell, you can directly go to that person, fold your hands. Prabhu, I am not a qualified person to tell you. I hope I am wrong. But, if I am right, but I want, please, don't, I want you to come back, become a little bit serious. We are all inspired by you very well. Prabhupada say, I was listening to Prabhupada lecture. You glorify somebody and appreciate them. Then explain the advantages of being Krishna conscious. Advantages of Krishna consciousness. Then fold your hands with a blade of, with the grass in the mouth. I mean, you don't need to put the grass in the mouth, but at least, it means humble. So please come, don't give it up. This is the only thing that will come with you. Nobody will come with us, not the family member, not the bank account, not the name and fame. This will come with us. 2.40. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya prayatyam hatavaya. If the person denies, you pray for them. Actually, first pray for them. The second, either some senior devotee can come and, you can tell the senior devotee, Ramchandra Prabhu, or you have to tell, then, these are the things. Usually it works, Prabhuji. If you can touch their heart by your humility, they will listen to you.
Okay. I'll also small question towards that as well. So what if he's your closest friend or among our close friends as well, and we can be open about it to him or her, it doesn't matter, but and is there any other special way we should do it to appeal to them that, hey, do not astray from Krishna consciousness and try to bring them back? Is there any other way we could do?
No, if it's closest friend, it's easy. Closest friend means usually they will listen. You should say, I'm not qualified. Please don't feel bad. Don't take me wrong. Please. First thing, you should pray for them, Prabhu. When my attacks, sometimes, they will not take it up. Everyone tried and everyone told Ravana what he was doing is wrong. Ravana didn't take it. Even the last day, still he didn't. And he paid the price. That's how Maya works. So, if he's your closest friend, I'm sure he will listen, hopefully. But you should pray for them also. Give them some prasad and speak. Actually, a couple of people who, of course, it's confidential, no doubt. You have to protect the confidentiality also. But thing is, pray for them first, then go and talk. That's what I can tell.
Thank you, Rudy. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, the topic today was very interesting. And when we hear these lectures and when we hear from senior devotees, we feel motivated. However, after some time, again, the enthusiasm goes down. You get busy with your normal life and there are so many conflicting priorities. So how do we keep the enthusiasm going and not get affected by, everything else that's going on in life?
Thank you. A nice question. Sambandha Gyan. We need to be very firmly fixed on Sambandha Gyan. So you made a point. Over a period of time, you become diluted because of the priorities. I know metal world is firefighting. I'll share a small example with you, my experience. I also came to America to make money. And one day I opened a New York Times newspaper. I saw Ronald Reagan fell in the bathroom and broke his hip. He was going through excruciating suffering. So then I went to, I thought in my office, in my New York office, it's morning actually. If I go to tell him and said, sir, when you had money, name and fame, your children are very educated, and so you're a Hollywood star, people would watch your movies. You're American president 2 times, California governor 2 times. Think of those good olden days and forget your suffering today. And I thought what he would say, a fool number one. How much I enjoyed yesterday will not compensate today's suffering. Wow, when this realization dawned in my heart, and I thought, oh, means when he's going through, means 30 years later I'll also go through this. How much money I would make, whatever name and fame and whatever there's, what is that insurance policies I would have, and they would not compensate the suffering when I would go through the, this old age and suffering. Body is a machine, amma. Cell phone means 6 years, maybe the glass, maybe 70, 80, 100 years. Computer, 6, 7, 10 years. Every machine has a time, So a body is a machine, 206 bones, blood, flesh, and marrow. So it means when we are giving up Krishna consciousness because of other priorities, it means we are not established in Sambandha Jnana. I want to tell you, by the time I already read Bhagavad Gita, so Bhagavad Gita is telling I'm not the body but spirit soul. But before my body, he was born after 70, 80. The Ronald Reagan is going through this. Means I will also go through this after some time. But before that day comes, Bhagavad Gita is telling you're not the body. So let me realize I'm not the body. I want to tell you this today. I joined full time. I'm not even today. Theoretically, I know very well, but not quote unquote. I don't dwell on that spiritual platform. It's a naked truth. So my point to you, spirituality, my request to you, give importance. You go to bathroom every day to clean the body, and you invest in children, you invest in material life, you invest in social life. Why we don't? But spiritual life is the only thing that will come with us. Why we don't invest in spiritual life? It is because of this weakness. We are not firmly established in Sambandha Jnana. We don't have faith in Bhagavad Gita. We don't have faith in Bhagavad Gita that we are not this body but a spirit soul. We think we are this body. And we think our credit card works. We think our situations work. So my request to you, please take time out. My request, take time out and invest on the spiritual life today. How many people I offered a funeral in this past few, in 2-3 months. I spoke personally in funerals. Every 1 month, somebody would ask me, every month they would ask me to pray for them. Somebody is in cancer, somebody, is in ICU, please pray. And sometimes people call me, can you get name for my child, new baby? So whatever is Bhagavad Gita, whatever is written in Bhagavad Gita, I see happening in my life. When somebody asks me, can you pray for somebody in ICU? I pray for them, but I remind myself the reality of this world. That is good for me, actually. That position is very good because I'm in that position. Constantly I get to hear. But problem is somebody is in some nook and corner of America, family, and a lot of material responsibilities. They don't get to hear. Then material world is very overwhelming. Maya is very powerful. It pulls us down. That's why we should get to hear this often. We should hear the lecture of Prabhupada every day. Read few pages every day. 5 minutes only. Vaisesha Prabhu has chapter a day. Once you are firmly fixed up on reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, you will have this knowledge. Then you'll never deviate from truth. That's what I can speak from my experience.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Ongoing Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I saw one of your pictures with Bhakti Charu Maharaj with a very tight hug. If you remember that, what was the scene behind it? And it seems like a very affectionate picture.
Oh, really? I don't know. Where. I have to sit. When was this? I don't know, Prabhu.
This is very recent picture, actually. It's a recent picture, not very old.
We spoke. Maharaj spoke to me like maybe 20-25 minutes in Vrindavan. New Vrindavan, he came there, and we spoke. Actually, there is some relationship, no doubt. And then I met him again in Mayapur, and he came to me, and he melted my heart. Maharaj said, "When did you come?" I said, "Maharaj, it's Pushpabhishek. He came to sing. Thousands of people had problem in finding a place." And suddenly, Maharaj was to sing, and he was going to harmonium to sing, and suddenly he saw me and said, "When did you come?" I said, "Wow, he remembered." So I don't know the picture project, but I'm very grateful for. That's why see Maharaj. One good thing with him is he would make anybody special. Wow, Vaishnava. Vardukka Dukki. He knows there is a lot of suffering in this world. So, his nature is he would think that how can I make his life better in this 1 minute? I don't know the picture, so I cannot speak, but I can speak only this. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like how affectionate Maharaj is with all the devotees. Like he remembered a lot of devotees, and it's amazing. Thank you so much. I had some more other questions, but I guess some people might have more questions, I guess.
Not yet. Nobody has raised their hands yet. Jai Draupadi Mataji.
Loud.
Cannot hear you much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, very nice class. No pain, no gain. And you gave very nice example. And the girl, she ran after 12 years. I have a question. Her mother helped her, right?
Mhm.
In spirituality, like we are in this movement, and I have a question on that. If someone has problem, physical challenges, right? So like, how can I say? And they want to serve, but there's so many demoralization, people demoralize, so how can we take that? Should we stop doing service or should we continue?
I'm surprised. Devotees demoralize, you know. But I want to tell you one thing, Amma. I am so sad to hear. I don't know whoever is demoralizing. I mean, first thing is we have to see whether there is some truth in what they are telling. You know, I don't think devotees are that much. I don't want to use the word bad, but anyway, first thing is see whether there is some truth in that or not, and try to rectify the situation on personal front. But one thing is for sure, there isn't. Even if there are 100 people in the world who is demoralizing you, you should not add one more person to that. That is yourself. One should not demoralize himself. One famous TEDx speaker said that there are enough people around you to demoralize. Don't add one more to that. That is you yourself. I'm good for nothing. I'm useless. I'm a bomb. That is inferiority complex. That's the worst thing. No, we are as powerful as sun. We are spirit soul. We are not this body. If you understand, we are Krishna's element. You know, we are directly connected to Krishna. Especially we came to Prabhupada movement, and you know, our gurus are all, they have their causeless mercy on us. You know, even if there are physical challenges, you know, we should not deter, we should not shirk. I've seen with all the gurus in the movement, one thing at least I've seen and learned, they would never take a U-turn. Never. You know, if this is for doing something for Prabhupada, this world is like that, problems will come. If you want to do something good, problems will come. But never turn back. Never turn back. Continue. There is a Christian story just to inspire you. You know, sometimes it doesn't work for a long time, even after working so hard. Some people think, are you crazy or what? It's not working. So there's a Christian story that says, in the Christian tradition, so God wanted one person, he pushed this rock. You know, so this person kept on pushing every day. 10 years he pushed. The rock did not move an inch. So finally he told God, one day he pushed and nothing had happened. I gave up. Then he heard a voice. Why you gave up? My Lord, I pushed this rock 10 years. It did not even move an inch. Then the voice responded, I did not tell you to move inches. When did I tell you? I told you to push the rock only. Your duty is to keep on pushing only. Anyway, I'll tell you. You pushed 10 years. 10 years ago, you were a skinny guy. Now, because you're pushing 10 years, you developed muscle. Now come out. I'll give you one more job. You do that. For that job, you need a little strength, which you picked up by pushing this rock for 10 years. Now you come out and you do that job. So likewise, there's a demoralizations, our purifications, and our discouragement. They're all like rocks. We are trying, they don't go anywhere. Over a period of time, without our knowledge, we become strong, we become better, we become mature. But I want to tell you this, we should do nice sadhana. Rise in the morning, the biggest enemy is our mind and senses, more than outsiders. That's what I've seen. Because our mind, when others say we don't consider. When mind says you're useless, we really take it seriously, but we are not. If so, to overcome that negativity, if you do nice sadhana, get up in the morning, have a sleep early, and rise early and chant your rounds, and do service. Believe me, you will do wonderful things for yourself, family, and of course, Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Where do we draw a line in terms of our spiritual endeavor? Because over endeavoring is also not good. So where do we draw a line?
Nice question. Thank you very much. It's called Rupa Goswami, which says prayasa. In that our endeavor happens, because of that, your enthusiasm for chanting is going down. Your enthusiasm for service is going down. Your enthusiasm to associate with the devotees is going down. Whatever is that endeavor, it is actually, it's our endeavor. You should know that. For example, if you want to raise more, you want to earn more money so that you want to donate some to the temple. But for that you have taken 2-3 jobs. And it is so overwhelming. Your desire to hang on with the devotees will go down. Your desire to chant more rounds will go down. So that is our endeavor. You understanding?
Yes.
Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Madhuri Sita has a question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So I have a question regarding the question which was asked before this, the demoralization. So Prabhuji, we also hear that we have to accept what is favorable for our devotional service, right? And Pratikulasya we should basically give away. So how do we connect that? If it's happening, within community or what, if certain things are demoralizing us, then.
Yeah, that is against your bhakti. Give it up, give away, leave it. It is not inspiring you to do bhakti. So it's demoralizing, it is not inspiring your bhakti, then why you listen it? Just give it up. Don't act on it. Somebody is telling, this is, if that is your, I don't know whether I'm answering your question rightly. You said, you quoted Anukulasya and Pratikulasya, both Anukulasya Sankalpa, Pratikulasya Varjana. And then you said, somebody is demoralizing. And then why should you, if it is actually the demoralization is detrimental to your bhakti, why should we listen? That is my question. You're listening?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So if this is not good for your bhakti, why should you listen to them? If you're very confident on your Prabhupada mercy, Guru's mercy on you, and one thing I can tell you, Krishna will not give anything that you can't do. Second thing is, or you are unable to do a little better, then just to take shelter of some devotees, take little guidance, and you can definitely will do. That's possible. That is how Krishna works. So when somebody is demoralizing, first of all, no one has right in this world to demoralize. But to give a safe side, because devotees, I told one thing in the beginning. Maybe they are correcting you. Like mother cautions always child. No, you're going, you don't know swimming properly. You cannot swim. So child should not take it as demoralization because there is a note of caution in it. I don't know the real situation, but I'm presenting you. So if devotees are telling you, rather than thinking it is a demoralization, first of all, see, is there any reality in it? Check it. And if there is even 10% reality, correct it. But you don't need to change. You don't need to be demoralized for that. Then take it up and go forward. So what is that? Jagrata bayan nasti. If you're careful, you become fearless. If you become careful, you become fearless. Be careful. If you're cautious, you will go forward nicely. So, and the demoralization is not favorable to your bhakti, because if you do this, you'll get blessings from Guru and Krishna. So don't follow it. Don't listen it. There are enough people around you. Don't add one more. Why should they discourage you? Or see something good in whatever they're telling, and then apply that. Take that suggestion with a pinch of salt, and be very careful in what you're doing and go forward. Then it becomes anukulasya only. You agree?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Correct.
Anybody else has a question? Gopal Ganga Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So one another question is probably it's a age-old question again and again coming up. So false ego, you mentioned the false ego takes the different forms of the in our practical life. It becomes pride, lust, and deters our sadhana. So theoretically we understand it, but then on the other side, in the spiritual world, false ego doesn't exist in the spiritual world, right? So there's no place for the false ego there. However, the free will is there, and due to the free will, we got this material life.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is that why do we end up in this, like why, like, even though we have Krishna's association in the spiritual world, why we still leave that association? Why the
Go ahead.
the two sides of it? In the material world, this false ego is there, and in the spiritual world we have the true Krishna conscious Krishna services, right? So there our free will is making us to come back to this world, and here in this material world, false ego is attaching us here, right? So in the spiritual world, why we are not able to stick to the Krishna's services and still practice our free will there. And over here, we have this false ego. We learn all of this from Prabhupada's teachings, and we are not able to get rid of it here too. So it's like that's we were able to get out of it.
Same question was asked to Bhaktishara Swami Prabhuji on May 30th. In our class, he gave it to us in Farmington Hills. Maharaj said, we turned our back against Krishna. We turned our back against Krishna. That's why we came here. So free love cannot be forced, right? We are not dolls. If you have a video game, you can do whatever you want to do with that. Or if you're a toy, a Barbie doll or a toy, you can do whatever you want to do. But for love, in order to experience Krishna as that love, Krishna has given us free will. But unfortunately, we exploited it. And for that we are paying heavy price. So Bhaktacharya Swami said, so that's why we should, so we have come to this world to control. We have become controllers. And the more and more we want to become controllers, the more and more we are incriminated. For that, that's why what we should do? Mara said the solution for false ego is a servant or servant. Dasa dasana das. King Kulashekar, he got darshan of Krishna. Krishna asked, what do you want? Pradvritya vritya paricharika vritya vritya vrityasya vrityas darsam parlokanada. Oh my Lord, give me birth out, make me your servant, oh servant, oh servant, oh servant, oh servant, oh servant, oh servant. 7 times. Yes, he said 7 times. This is a king, and nobody would say no to him. So Krishnadas Karaj Goswami says, servant position is very high in the spiritual world. In the material world, it is not so much. It's difficult for me. It's a theoretical answer. I'm just repeating what Mara said. I also have a lot of false ego, unfortunately. I'm trying to work on it, but it's not easy. So the point is, Mara said, this is the medicine for false ego. Probably only one time, we did a mistake and we have been paying heavy price, birth out to birth. So that's why Lord Chaitanya, 3rd verse, Tranada Pisunichana, then only Nadanam Najanam Nasundaram will happen. Many times I thought, why 3rd verse and this is 4th verse? Why not 4th and then 3rd verse as 4th verse, 4th as 3rd? No, then the answer is Lord Chaitanya. If we have this mentality, then only we'll be able to give up the attraction for this Dhanam, Janam and opposite sex. Bhaktacharya Swami said, unless you have a mercy of Krishna, you cannot give up these things. So, it's not easy. That's why I said no pain, no gain. Spiritual life is not easy, it's simple. We should know what we are endeavoring. But every endeavor we make, the result is eternal, bro. Even a little bit, Krishna says in Gita, even if we make little endeavor on this process, it's eternal success. Why? Because the credits are eternal. If you make 35% progress, next lifetime you'll start from 36. If in this lifetime, Prabhupada said, of course, you don't need to make 35%. If Prabhupada said, chant 16 rounds, follow 4 the great principles, I'll take you back to God in this lifetime. The promise is there. Just take, try your best. We try. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we win, but we try. Stay in the process. What is that? Stay in the process. Have faith in Prabhupada words. Chant 16 rounds for following great principles. Serve Gurus, since spiritual masters lotus feet sincerely. Stick to the process. And leave the rest to Krishna. It is up to him how much he wants to purify, That is not in our hands. We don't have any brush in our hands to, clean the bathroom of our heart, especially the ego. But let us, from our side, sincere. And leave the rest to Krishna. That's what I can tell you. I think we should end it,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Our group here is very, very thirsty and hungry for questions and answers. And I want to thank you for giving so much more time after the class. There's one question, but if you have to leave, then we can not.
No, I'm fine, okay. Yeah.
You're okay? Subhadra Rani Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all Srila Prabhupada and Guruji. Prabhuji, extension of this previous question. If we are, because of the mistake, we came from the spiritual world, whatever mistake we have done, and after this process, and when we go to Golok Vrindavan, again, if we make mistake, then we have to come back. How is the process, Prabhuji? My daughter was asking the question. I am telling her to convey, then she is not happy.
No, that's good. Fantastic question, actually. The answer is this, Amma. Bhagavad Gita says, Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramamama. So Krishna, though he promises, once you go back, you will not come back. But Bhagavatam says, whatever you said, Bhagavatam says, you have free will. So yes, if you have free will, like for example, if you are eating every day rasgulla, gulab jamun, parotas, and what is that? Paneer sabji, for continuously non-stop trillion years. Then one day you want to see drink some oats and water. Prabhupada said this word. I'm just giving a joke example. Proper example. Then I've had this. I don't want paneer sabji and rasgulla, gulab jamun, and all these parotas, and so I want to just drink some oats and water. Water soaked in oats. And sorry, oats soaked in water. So now we developed the desire. Then we developed this. Will come down again. But I want to tell you this. If you tell your child, put your finger in the fire, your child will ask you, Mom, what is burning? Say it will burn like anything. So what you will say, no, the child, oh really it will burn. But the child doesn't know, the child knows only the theory. But one day the child will switch on the burner when you are not there, put the finger there. Oof. You see that from distance. Every time you say, put your finger there, try. No, enough is enough. One time you got the experience, you don't want to put your finger there again. Do you? No. So one time we just exhibited our desire against the will of Krishna, and we are stuck in the cycle of birth and death. This what is that? Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Krishna tells, Gopakumar, how many lifetimes I waited? This lifetime you'll come back. This lifetime you come back, but you are not coming back. And so Krishna says this. So my request to you, we put our finger one time in the fire, we got the experience. I'm sure that experience will make us learn not to put the finger in the fire again. Does it answer your question?
You're on mute, Mataji. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji. Do we remember, Prabhuji, our previous fault and the suffering so that we cannot make the mistake and to come back?
One devotee by name Vrindavan Prabhu said, if Krishna wants you to remember, you'll remember. But you'll remember this as a bad dream. That if Krishna wants you to do that for various reasons, you would otherwise, you would not also remember.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I ask you just one quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
And I promise it will be quick. So Prabhu, what happens to those devotees, like you see such exalted devotees, say for example in our movement itself, this young kids like Amarendra Prabhu, or you have heard about Devi Chitralekha. How have they, like maybe in the previous world they were still humans, but to complete their maybe pastimes or something, that they have so much knowledge, they have regained so much that in the age of 10 years and 8 years they're able to speak so many elaborated verses of God, and they're able to explain you so nicely. How does that ability come? And I know Krishna says I'm an ability in man, but how is that extraordinary that comes in such type of people? Maybe as you said that you will have to take human birth again, and you take birth in a house of a devotee where your devotional service again progresses. So is that the case, Prabhuji, with such exalted devotees, Prabhuji?
Yes. So Prabhupada mentions this, in when what is that? Suchanam Srimatange Yoga Brashta Vijayate, so whatever they have continued in the previous life, they'll continue from there. So they have done like 90%, they'll continue from 91%. Especially Amarendra Prabhu, I don't know, Adharmadaji you quoted, Amarendra Prabhu was born in a moment. He was born to parents, who are actually initiate disciples of Bhakti Swarupadhananda Maharaj. And, he did Bhakti Shastri at the age of 19. And he told, then, what is that? Then he himself, he received initiation from Radha Govind Maharaj, and he has Guru's mercy. So my point is, so they're continuing from previous life, from past life. That's why they remain so exalted, So what is that? Suchanam Srimatangahi Yoga Brashta Vijayate. Then Bilamolas Thakur also, what is that? In the previous life, he was, he attained a bhava stage. Bilamangala Thakur, he was a sannyasi in the previous life. Next lifetime, he was born to a parent who was very advanced, So that's why he was born to a devotee parents, If you are not so advanced, you will be born in a rich family, Srimatangehe. Or if you are very advanced, you will take birth in devotees history, Suchinam. Prabhupada says Suchinam means devotees. But they're just continuing from past life, Mataji. Yes, I have no doubt about it. That's what I think.
Anybody else? I just want to, before anybody else may have, that next Sunday we have His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu giving class, and for this Wednesday, it's still TBD, but by tomorrow we will be sending out. So please stay tuned for the Wednesday Sangha and also for next Sunday. Anybody else? Question? Okay. I want to really thank His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhuji for spending 2 hours with us. Our question and answer sessions are really, really very interesting. And I really want to thank all the devotees actually for coming up with questions. Questions means that you heard the class. So, otherwise, whoever we don't have questions means you are the next candidate to give the class. So, because all questions have been answered. And sometimes I would like, sometimes that even if there's something etiquettes also, sometimes we even ask questions, not for ourselves, but even for others. And one point I would like to make, if I may, Yugal Kishore Prabhuji, one of the questions that came was, how do we maintain enthusiasm? And I would like to say this is that there's a saying that fake it till you make it. So in our 24 hours, this was the 1 hour program that we all do Sangha, what we call, right? We're all together. And even if we're not enthusiastic, at least for that 1 hour, we can come and show that we're enthusiastic. Because enthusiasm is catchy, and sometimes it's not for us only, but it's seeing us enthusiastic, others also become enthusiastic. So same way, sometimes the question may not be, we may not have a question, but can we think of others who may be thinking like that? And sometimes we can't even ask a question that others may be thinking is because we don't know what others are thinking. Because we may not have that relationship with others. We don't even know who are on the call or who are all in the center or something like that. But if we get to know each other, then we may know or understand where they're situated, what type of questions they may have, what types of challenges they're going in their lives. And a question I may ask may be relevant. But I want to thank all the devotees, especially for every program. Class may be 45 minutes to an hour, and then our question answer session is for another hour. And thankfully, we don't have to drive back. We don't have to wait for Prashadam. So we can continue and take benefit of these virtual programs and have longer sessions. So I hope and pray that soon in the near future, we can get Prabhuji's in-person association and get to serve him again soon. Thank you, everyone.